Hello, Matthew here. Welcome to the All Around Pokemon channel with another PTCGO match. This time I am running a Klinklang PLS variation. However, I am running Durant NVI variation rather than Klinklang, rather than Companion EX-Klinklang. It's not the best variation. Indeed, the other variation is better than this one, but it's not bad at all. Decided to go for the end here, so not the ideal start. Our main aim will be to set up some Durant and Klinklangs as fast as we can. Klinklang first, I think, is the main aim, and then once we've set up Klinklang, we can start devouring. So we see Lugia X. If Lugia X gets a couple of attacks off, then it's bad because it's going to knock out the Durant with no problem at a super fast rate. However, if he cannot get out and attack before I set up Plasma Klinklang, it's quite decent for me. So he gets a DCE down. So what we have a desperate hope for is that he cannot get a double Colts machine. He uses that though, so there's a chance he might get it. If he gets it, then we're going to have a serious problem in this game because we won't be able to get Klinklang set up next turn because we'll have no Klinks and we'll be down a couple of PRs. And perhaps we're about to see the ultimate power of Lugia EX. A card that was overrated, but now is being underrated quite a bit. So I'm hoping we're not going to see it. Great, so we're not going to see it, and that's brilliant. That's going to give us our turn to set up our Klinklang to block off his attacks from Lugia X. So that's brilliant, that was crucial. If he'd have got the double cold machine out there, the game would have been over. But now we have a serious chance this. We're going to have to wait a couple of turns though. But we've got time to wait on our sides here. And I guess we can check out a bit more of the opponent's deck. We're seeing some stuff that is not in most normal decks here. So I guess we'll keep watching. I was thinking it might be an Electric deck with the Raikou EX and the Lugia EX, but I've seen Plasmas and DCEs and also that Magnemite too, which suggests that it might well not be a Electric deck, or at least a deck that's not that focused on Electric. See, he evolves into Magnezone here. That attacker could be problematic if he sets it up, because that can knock out the Durant. However, it does need a number of energies. So we see he's going to catch up the bench Pokemon here, which seems a weird move indeed. I suppose he would want to get a knockout here, but I think he must have not realised about the Plasma Steel. But that was a rather ridiculous move, I have to admit. So I suppose we'll see here. So he hits us for nothing, and we can just leave him the active, to be honest. No need to catch her at this point. So just going to end. Drop another Klink. We don't need to do much. In an ideal world, we would have got another Durant out at least. We start with one Durant, Duranting for one, devouring for one, but it didn't happen. So we do see his non-EX attacker here, which is a potential problem for us. So we're going to see him start to set that up, I expect. And this could be a problem if we can't set up our Durant soon. Sure, we've set up the Plasma Klinklang and all, but if we can't set up something decent, we're going to have serious problems here. So he gets a switch out, so he could be able to start attacking us here, which is another problem. And, to be honest, I don't like this position now. So he gets a Colors for 5 here. And we had to start attacking us for at least another 1-2 turns. Our Durant will be safe, but after that we are going to have some rather large problems here. I suppose we could set up a Companion EX if it's not on the PRs, but even so we don't have a brilliant hand here, so we're quite stuck. So he decides to catch up the Plasma Klinklang, which is a good move there. The good news is he has lost 2 of his catches, and he doesn't look like he's running cards to retrieve them, so that's good. So we get the Companion EX here, which is great. So I can drop the attachment onto him, I can escape rope, And see what you can send up here. And I have a choice between attackers, but I think for now we'll just go for the Companion EX. Catch up the Zekrom and attack. I hope the game doesn't lag out. Okay, attack with Righteous Edge. Just remove that DCE. He's going to stop him outraging or setting up the second attack, the more problematic attack for a couple of turns, until we can draw some more useful stuff. Okay, so he's going to drop a lightning onto the Viking EX, which seems a rather ridiculous move, considering he cannot set up an attack with it. But no problem for me, I will drop that down onto him, and I could Righteous Edge again, decide to Righteous Edge again. To be honest, I'm not sure if that's the correct move or not. There's no real need to attack, because it's going to be a long time until I set up enough damage on him to knock him out, and he might just throw down a DC from nowhere, because he still has the potential of up to 2 remaining in his deck. So, we don't want that much damage on us, in case he can set up another non-EX attack and we continue to get bad draws. So, we might just wait here for now. So, we see he's going to catch up the Klinklang. So, he just has one more catch remaining now, which is good. The bad news is that he is now in the active, but it's not the end of the world at all. So he drops enough of his energies onto the Viking, which again sees Weirs, and he just has to switch into the Viking. And I just realised that he could have the potential to power lock us in the active, but it's still not a terrible one. So we get the candidates there, which is decent. I mean, in an ideal world, we just got a whole new hand, but we did get the next Klinklang set up. So even he could knock that one out, which would be quite a hard job to do, we have another one right there. So, at the moment, I'm just pleased to just sit here. He's not running accelerations, so it's going to be quite hard for him to do a lot here. And we're just going to sit back and relax. Okay, so we see a chorus there. That's got a chorus for 7, which is quite powerful indeed. And we see him drop the plasma onto the Lugia EX, which once more is an interesting move. And we see him use the 4th catcher onto the Durant there, which just seems to get more and more ridiculous what he's planning to do. He's wasted all 4 of his catchers, and yeah. Okay, so he's wasted all 4 of his catchers now. He's had no method, I believe, unless he's running cycles, or bringing them back at the moment, and even so, that wouldn't be consistent enough due to the coin flips. So, wow, I'm in a decent position here, even though I haven't joined something for a long time. The opponent can still pull it off, it's not over. He has that Zekrom on the bench, he has other non-EX attackers. And once that's done, he's got a Lugia EX to sweep with. We see that he does drop the DCE, so he can drop a switch there and get a knockout. And then he can get a knockout, so that's not ideal for us. So he will be able to get a knockout here. If we don't draw an attachment in the next couple of turns, we could be facing some further problems here. So he's an Ultra Ball, so he's going to grab another Zekrom, which is not what we would see. Zekrom's quite a powerful attacker thus as his deck, because we can't OHKO it, and it's not an EX, so it can get decent amounts of attack for us, and Outrage can do rather a lot. So he does get the knockout there. I decided the best move would be to send another Granny next, take the risk, to be honest. No point in sending up another Durant for him to get another knockout. And there we go, we do get the end here, so go straight over the end. And all we need is 1 metal. And there we go. We get the metal. And we're going to attack with steel bullets. So in terms of what I expect to see here, this didn't turn out to be quite the match I expected, which had the main aim of using for Devour. But in the end, the one commanding an X came through when it was needed. We weren't drawing enough Durants, even though we had a maxed out level ball and Ultra Ball. And the opponent was quite aggressive with his attack, so we can attack with Commanding X when needed. quite versatile decks. It has multiple methods of winning games. That's good. So we see the opponent promotes the second one here. In order to be safe, even though he has used up 1, 2, 3 of his DCEs, he could still have a potential enough one, or he could drop 1 attachment this turn and 1 attachment next turn. So yeah. Okay, so he gets the candies off into the Besha Magni. So I see his attachment acceleration is this one here, which I would have rather used an Elite Shoot to be honest, but I guess that's not terrible. Okay, so he gets a Skylar here. He could set up for Junpo on N for next turn, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, you can use 2 supported no cards here. So he uses the N there. We get some switches, which is good, but he can't catch us all now. One thing I just noted is his deck is quite low now, so we could deck him out, to be honest. It's quite a viable idea that we could deck him out here. So, yeah. I'm quite pleased to leave him with the active at this point. I decide if I switch into him, attach that to him there, and discard catcher and escape rope to grab another Durant here. There we go. Bench to Durant, and then we can end him down, forcing him to take another card from his deck and see what we get. Okay, so we can devour for 2 here. Now we could have attacked and still won the game for, but as this is a Durant focus variation, I wanted to see him lose from decking out from Devour. I thought that would be nicer methods of winning. Show how well this deck could work. The opponent can't attack me with the exits, which is even better than all the violent defences of the older variation, albeit a little slower. And then we just deck them out and run them out of resources and stuff. Okay, so we could Colress or Sharon here. So I drop them to him and then drop our Colress here. We can Colress for 9 here. And Super Odds, put those 2 back into our deck. And we can win this turn. Yep, we will Ultra Ball, discard that and that. Grab another Durant. Bench the Durant. Then Devour for the win. So in the end, we did win with Devour. Even though we had a lot of attack in between, combining EX and bad turns. And it shows that the deck does have some potential. I don't think it's a brilliant deck or a BDIF deck. And neither was also the opponent. But it shows it has some potential. If it can get a decent setup, and the opponent's running with the X-Tackers, they don't stand much of a chance. And it's quite a versatile deck as well, with attackers and milling. So, quite a fun match. So, remain tuned for future videos. Thanks for watching, and remain tuned.